A long time ago, there was a man with a lot of money, very wealthy, who lived near the desert. He had houses and mansions, but all of them were close to the desert. So after making so much money, one day he said, "I want something new. I want something different." And he started looking for something different to build a new house, a new lifestyle. So he began to travel. He started to see fields, new places, and some time passed, but he couldn't find what he wanted. Until one day he arrived at a very beautiful field, very lovely, where there were almost no trees, lots of sun, grass, and only 2 trees. But these 2 trees were very peculiar, as they were very, very tall. They were practically the size of buildings. The difference between these 2 trees, even though they were together and equally tall, was that one was thick, very leafy. It had many branches and was very green. No light, wind, or water passed through it. The other tree was not leafy, it had fewer branches, was a bit thinner. It wasn't as thick, but it was equally tall. This gentleman was analyzing, observing, and he said, "This is the perfect spot. Here I want to build my new home, the new place where I want to live and rest, where I want to be able to go out, feel the sun, have a beautiful field. This is the perfect place." So he starts making plans for his new mansion. One day, he goes out walking near the 2 trees, and the trees see that he's watching them, and he's doing some calculations in his mind. They don't know what he's doing until they hear him say, "Where would my house look better, on this side or on the other side?" And he's looking at the 2 trees. At that moment, the thinner tree with fewer branches starts feeling bad and says, "I can already imagine where he's going to put his house, next to my friend, surely, because I don't have branches. I can't shield him from the sunlight, I can't protect him from the rain, I can't even protect him from the wind." Days pass and this man starts building the house. He builds the house next to the lush tree, which provides plenty of shade and doesn't allow the sun rays, rain, wind, or air to pass through. Absolutely nothing. The house is completely protected, and next to it there is a beautiful garden. One day the man steps out of his house to enjoy nature. As he turns around and sees the 2 trees, he notices that the tree with fewer branches looks sad. He asks, "Friend, what's bothering you?" And the tree replies, "Well, I'll be honest with you. I've always felt that I'm very ugly and worthless. When you were planning to build your house, I noticed that you were looking at which side to build it on. I realized that you chose the lushest, largest, strongest tree with more branches, thinking it would protect you better than what I could have done. It saddens me to know that I'm inferior to my friend. I don't envy him. I don't feel bad. I'm glad you chose him. I just feel bad for myself." The man replies, "Friend, but you don't know what you're talking about. I have a lot of money and I didn't come to this place seeking shade. Let me tell you something. I come from the desert. I have many houses and mansions, but there's a small problem. I really like gardens, and in the desert where I live, I can't have gardens. I don't know if you've noticed this beautiful garden in front of you," he says. "Yes, I have seen it, but where are you going with this?" He then says, "I'm not here for your friend. If I had wanted a forest full of trees to be in the shade, I could have bought a forest full of trees and built my house there. But I didn't come here just to have a house. I wanted to have a beautiful garden, and you're giving me the opportunity to have that beautiful garden. I don't mean to belittle your friend, the tree. He's very big, very strong, very leafy, and he's not providing shade, as you say. But to have my garden, I needed something very balanced. I needed the right amount of wind, the right amount of light, and the right amount of water. You're perfect. I'm in this place because of you, not because of your friend. You give me the perfect environment to build a beautiful garden. I have flowers here that are very expensive and incredibly beautiful, but above all, very delicate. The way you're made allows just enough sunlight to reach them to nourish, but not to scorch them. You enable the right amount of water to pass through to feed my flowers, but not to drown them. If you weren't there, perhaps they would have been filled with rainwater, and my flowers would have withered by now. You also let the right amount of wind pass through. My flowers need to feel the wind, a breeze, but it can't be too strong because they're very delicate. You see the virtues in you that I saw as a disadvantage. Let me tell you once again, I have nothing against your friend, but the 2 of you together make an amazing team. If you weren't here, I wouldn't have put my house here. What I wanted was a beautiful garden. You have allowed me to make my dream come true." This story illustrates how self-esteem can be influenced by comparisons with others, and how we often underestimate our own virtues and abilities. In the case of the slender tree, it felt inferior to the lush, sturdy tree, believing it wasn't good enough to be chosen by the man for his garden. This lack of self-esteem was based on an unfair and mistaken comparison with the other tree. The story also shows how praise and external recognition can help us view our own qualities in a positive light. When the man praises the slender tree and explains how its unique structure is perfect for his garden, the tree begins to appreciate itself in a different way. This suggests that self-esteem can be strengthened by recognition of our virtues by others and by our own ability to recognize and value our skills and unique characteristics. It also highlights the importance of not constantly comparing ourselves to others, as each individual has unique qualities and abilities that contribute value to the world in diverse ways. Sometimes we all feel like that slender tree, don't we? Comparing ourselves to others and thinking we're not good enough. But this story shows us something incredibly important. Each of us has something unique and special to offer, something that makes us perfect just the way we are. Just like the slender tree found its purpose in the man's beautiful garden, we too have a special place in the world. It's normal to doubt ourselves, but we need to remember that our differences are what make us valuable. If we strive to recognize and appreciate our own qualities, as well as those of others, we'll build stronger self-esteem. Let's praise our own strengths and celebrate our achievements, no matter how small they may seem. By doing this, we'll not only build our own self-esteem, but also inspire others to do the same. Remember, you are unique and special, and you have a meaningful purpose in this world. Don't let comparisons discourage you. Instead, celebrate your differences and use them as a springboard to become a better version of yourself every day. You are amazing just the way you are, and you deserve to shine with your own light. If this story has inspired you, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. Similarly, if you want to discover more valuable content like this, I invite you to check out the story on the screen.